I'll try to keep it as lighthearted, as fun as previous time you saw me when I talked about databases. This time I tried to make something. Do you remember Microsoft Clippy? The little clip that you had in Microsoft Word that was.
Yes, yeah, the mascot, let's say, yeah.
Exactly. I tried to make something like that for in my IDE in IntelliJ.
Nice.
That is very sarcastic and very just borderline refuses to give you any answer if you're not nice to it and stuff like that. So that is a little bit what I'm going to show, and hopefully also teach some things about what it is to integrate LLMs in your workflows to people.
Γεια, είμαι η Έλενα Λέκου, συντονίστρια του web τμήματος στην SA Athens και ακούτε το podcast Life of Dev. Ένα podcast αφιερωμένο στην ελληνική development κοινότητα. Αλήθεια, τι μπορεί να μάθει μια designer σαν εμένα συνομιλώντας με developers? So today on Life of Dev, I have a guest who really knows how to blend serious engineering with serious fun. Alexander is a software engineer at J-Driven with fascinating background in game studies from the University of Amsterdam. I first saw Alexander at a previous Devoxx some years ago. I can't remember when. And I have to say it was one of the most fun and interactive presentation I've ever seen in Devoxx. His energy and the way he bridges the gap between game development and software engineering are incredible. So I'm very excited that he is here with me. And his speech at Devoxx Greece 2026, it's something that I don't want to miss. So you don't want to miss it too. So welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here. And thank you for the invitation.
So let's start with some things about you and tell us a bit about your work and what you are currently focusing on.
Yeah, sure. So J-Driven is like a small consultancy here in the Netherlands. By trade, I'm a software consultant, to say, and focusing on GVM technologies, Java and Kotlin mostly, and backend. A little bit of frontend sometimes, but not voluntarily, so to say. And currently I'm working at a project for basically the only company in the Netherlands that offers travel assistance. So if your car breaks down next to the road in the Netherlands, this is the company you're going to be calling. And I'm working on the systems that, do the whole chain of calls coming in, and we dispatch someone to go and help the people. So it's quite exciting in that regard.
And you hold both Dutch and Greek nationality. So
I am.
How has this multicultural background influenced your way of working and your perspective on the tech industry?
That's a good question. I think the biggest clash in some regard is that, so my dad is Greek and my mother is Dutch. I grew up in Greece, so I lived for 13, 14 years in Greece before we moved to the Netherlands. And let's say I inherited the patience of my father.
Nice.
Like that Greek patience, which is mostly non-existent, you could say. And you can see that in how I do things, I guess. Things have to be quick. Things have to, waiting long time for things just doesn't sit well with me. Other people are warm. I don't want to generalize too much because everyone is different in the end, but you do see that some people in the Netherlands are typically more take it slow, methodically, make sure things are correct. While I am more of, let's say, the fail off and fail fast credo. I really took it too hard. And what's also really nice is I go to a lot of conferences. I have like a built-in icebreaker because I say, hey, my name is Alexander Chatzizacharia, and then nobody has any idea what that last name is. So that's pretty funny.
I know that people from other countries, they say that Greek people have the patenda kind of mindset. So patenda is when you don't, let's say, know how to do something, you might find another way to do this and make it in another way. I'm not sure if I explain it correctly, but yeah. Do you see that this is a thing?
Speaking about myself, I definitely will find a way to get things working, which has definitely caused friction in the past.
Nice.
So yeah, I guess that is in some regard true in my case. But that said, I've worked with other Greek people in the Netherlands as well, and they are more methodological. Am I saying this correctly? In a way. So yeah, I think there's a balance even between Greeks or a distinction.
And how you managed to go to game studies and achieve a master degree there? How did you discover your passion from software engineering to games, and how you blend these two disciplines?
It was quite flipped, I would say. So yeah, I mean, I played a lot of video games when I was growing up. World of Warcraft, RuneScape, those things. And I actually started doing a bachelor's in architecture.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So maybe this resonates with you, but at least from Kos, like the island where I'm from, back then, like this is 20 years ago, there are basically two kind of jobs that your company your family pushes you towards. One is doctor, and the other one is civil engineer, architecture, that kind of stuff. So I never really knew what I wanted to do. My brother always knew he wanted to become a doctor. So that part was gone. I couldn't do that. And then my dad kept pushing me, just do architecture, just do that, earn a lot of money, whatever. So I did that for a year. It was horrible. I really hated it. And then the day I said to my teachers that I was going to stop, I saw a flyer hanging about a new study that was starting, which was game development, a bachelor's in game development. I was like, well, I play a lot of games, so that sounds fun. And that is basically how I started doing game development. Then after my bachelor's, I did my master's in game studies here in the Netherlands. So that kind of flowed kind of naturally. But after I was done with my master's, I kind of decided that I really don't like the games industry as it is, as it was back then and still kind of is, right? So a lot of crunch, a lot of just expecting people to put their soul and passion into a project with, underpaying them, overworking them, et cetera, I was like, okay, I don't really like that, but I do like software. So then I started working at a company as a software engineer instead of a game developer. And the rest is history, so to say.
But okay, this decision is not going to define you for the rest of your life. You can always go back and do something in the game industry. So yeah.
Of course. I mean, that makes like any decision you make about, my opinion is any decision you make about your school and anything at the age of 14, 15, 16 shouldn't define your life, because what do you know when you're 16, 17, 18, right?
Exactly.
You just do something to just say you have a diploma. And once you get your diploma, that is when the real decision starts happening. But that's a little bit of my opinion.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah. And I keep making games. I keep hobbying around with them and things like that. So.
And how is your typical day-to-day routine? First of all, are you working remotely or are you going to your job, or hybrid? How is your...
Yeah, we're hybrid. We're 1 to 2 days at the office typically. So Monday for sure. So start the week together as a team, and then the rest is more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
It's hybrid, and my day-to-day, yeah. So we're working like in the agile environment, the standard Scrum things that you do is start with stand-up, refinements, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up something from the board, work on it, review pull requests, things like that. So I would say fairly cookie cutter in the software engineering industry nowadays. Nothing super out of the ordinary. That actually, I don't think I can make it more exciting than this.
That's okay. This is also good if you have a very, let's say, structured routine and everything goes smoothly, let's say, inside your day. So
exactly.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And what gives you energy or inspiration in your daily life?
Yeah, I would say probably new technology in some regard.
Mm-hmm.
When ChatGPT released, I went like full in, okay, what is this? How does this work? How can I use it? And since then, I've been kind of following it. I mean, let's be honest, it's pretty obvious that it's transforming the software engineering field as we know it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I'm getting a lot of energy with playing around with Cloud Code and those kind of tools and see how you can push it to do whatever you want to do and things like that. But, in the end, I still do like writing, the lines of code. So I hope we as the industry don't forget that, that it's also fun to write the lines ourselves instead of generating them via AI. So yeah, that definitely gives me a lot of energy. And well, I mean, yeah, the most correct answer to that is dopamine. It sounds a bit weird, but yeah, I've been playing games for 20 years now. My attention span is basically non existent.
Okay.
If I don't get any immediate feedback, dopamine hit on something I do, I'm not interested. So as long as as I do something that gives me that, I'm very much laser focused.
Nice. Okay, so let's continue our conversation and let's talk about. I will focus more on our local community in Greece. So, based on your experience, what is your take on the Greek tech scene compared to other countries that you have been traveling for conference or work?
I mean, it's definitely been growing past years, right? At a kind of insane rate, maybe to even say.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when the only conference, at least in the Java space, that I heard was Voxx Athens back then. And then it quickly turned into Devoxx Athens. And then suddenly you had Voxx Thessaloniki, and then Voxx Yanina, Voxx Crete.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely, from what I remember, like the people visiting those conferences kept growing over the years. It definitely feels like it's growing. Also, the landscape itself, or the landscape, like the services themselves, they seem like they're being modernizing at quick rates in Greece. I remember like 4 years ago, even maybe, or something like that, I went to Kos on vacation and I still had to pay by cash everywhere and things like that. And suddenly you go there a year later and everybody's using a card and nobody's really using cash anymore. I'm like, okay, that went fast. And my dad is calling me and asking me how he has to download his banking app and how that works because it's faster than going to the clerk himself anymore. And so I really think there was like this boom or something. At least that's my feeling, right? From and somebody that is living in the Netherlands. There's been like this boom past years, and it's like catching up to the rest of Europe. And what really impressed me is I don't know if maybe it's just the slides because I typically see it from conferences, but I really feel like the split between male and female in Greece it's much more even than if you go to Western European conference.
I'm very glad that I'm hearing this.
Yeah, I mean, when I walk around at the Devoxx Days Crete or Devoxx Athens, I feel like the split is basically 50-50, right? So it's very balanced and basically as you'd like to see it. And in Western European conferences, it's definitely not 50-50.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily know why that is or what happens there and what we're doing wrong in Western Europe. But yeah, so that's really positive. Really nice to see.
Nice. And you're speaking at Devoxx Greece again. So can you give us a small teaser of what we should expect from you this year?
I'll try to keep it as lighthearted, as fun as previous time you saw me when I talked about databases. This time I tried to make something. Do you remember Microsoft Clippy? The little clip that you had in Microsoft Word that was...
Yes, yeah, the mascot, let's say.
Exactly. I tried to make something like that in my IDE in IntelliJ.
Nice.
That is very sarcastic and very just borderline refuses to give you any answer if you're not nice to it and stuff like that. So that is a little bit what I'm going to show and hopefully also teach some things about what it is to integrate LLMs in your workflows to people.
It sounds fun. I will be there.
Glad to hear so. Hopefully everybody will think it's
in
fun.
The front row or somewhere very close to hear you. I mean, I don't want to brag about your talks, but you really know how to make the audience engage with you and stay focused and have both fun and learn something. So that's why I'm very excited.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I mean, I try to have fun on stage, and it's good to hear that it kind of
It goes to the audience, yes.
exactly, and that we're having fun together.
Yeah.
In the end, it doesn't everything have to be super serious all the time. Since
Exactly.
that is my philosophy.
Nice. And have you also been involved with our Greek games industry? Because this is something that has bloomed over the years. And do you know what's going on in the game industry in Greece?
I'll be honest, not very much. Like the biggest impression I got when I was talking to some people a couple of years ago in Thessaloniki was that it's mostly living through the gambling sites, right? So like the football gambling, the sports gambling, that is a little bit where the gaming or the gamification people end up.
That's true.
But it's good to hear that it's also blooming more over or spilling more over into just traditional games, just entertainment games and things like that. But I've not been involved personally. No.
They're doing a great job in local communities and in Larissa. So I think that we will see more in the future. That's why I'm asking what's your opinion. But yeah, let's see how it will grow.
Yeah, I hope so. Because in the end, I do believe that with like the AI assisted development coming over and, it's going to put pressure on all the industries. But I feel that gaming industry will be kind of, immune is a huge word, but because it's so creative, right? It's so feeling based. You need to feel if something is fun, and an LLM, of course, cannot feel that something is fun or not. I feel that it's going to be blooming and becoming more and more important in upcoming years. So I hope to be able to play the next hit, the next Expedition 33. It's going to be a Greek game instead of a French game or something like that. Would be really fun.
Who knows? We will see.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the fun part of the interview, and I have some quick questions. You don't have to explain your answer, so it could be more fun and quick.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure. Just the rapid fire. Okay. Yeah.
What is your strongest skill?
Gamification.
What is the most boring task in your workday?
The daily stand-up.
What is the first programming language you fell in love with?
Kotlin.
What is a new framework, tool, or something you want to learn next?
CUDA programming.
If you weren't an engineer, what you will be doing?
Probably at the bar on the island or something.
Nice. Or a beach bar or something,
Yeah,
in
something
an
like
island.
that.
Yeah.
Making cocktails for tourists.
Nice. What has been the most impactful project you've ever worked so far?
I worked on a simulator for trains in the Netherlands. I think that had quite some impact over the years. Yeah.
A proper 1 hour lunch break or something quick and back to work?
Not even quick and back to work, just on my desk while I work.
2 monitors or 1?
3.
Okay, you are the second person. I have to change this question. Okay, digital to-do list or pen and paper?
To be honest, I don't even use both. I remember it. And if I forget it, it was not important enough.
Okay. Remote work, hybrid or on-site?
Remote.
Greek souvlaki or Dutch stroopwafel?
The easiest question ever. Greek souvlaki every day.
Marvel or DC?
Neither. Japanese manga.
Okay. Lord of the Rings or Star Wars?
Lord of the Rings.
Lego or Playmobil?
Lego.
Board games or video games?
Oh, God, you know this one. Video games.
Your favorite video game this year, let's say, this month?
Oh, this month. Well, the new World of Warcraft expansion just launched.
Okay.
So that one for sure. But my favorite video game ever has to be Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars.
Nice. So that was quick and fun. And let's go
for sure.
to the last section of our interview. I will broaden up a bit about the industry, and we have to discuss about what is going on with AI right now. So what is your opinion on this? Is it going to change our roles? Are we going to do something else in the future? What is your take?
The fact that Cloud Code and Copilot and those tools, like the CLI tools, are absolutely transforming our industry is a given, right? I mean, I know multiple engineers by now that it's integral to their workflow every single day. So I am of the opinion that you cannot ignore it anymore, as in you have to use it in your day-to-day work. I don't think it's going to replace us. I think the numbers in the industry also show that. As in, I believe like in the United States, software engineering as a job market grew with 10% year over year. So, I mean, that definitely shows like, okay, there's still a lot of question for software engineers. And if you see what kind of money like OpenAI or Anthropic are giving in salaries for software engineers, also definitely shows that they value the position very largely. So they do not think that their own tools can replace them yet. I do think our role is going to become more, some regard, spec based, so that you'll be writing more specifications and orchestrating, such AI agents to, do the work. And you'll be in a more reviewing role in some regard than the writing code role. But yeah, I have to say at this moment, my view can be a little bit skewed because I've been playing a lot with Cloud Code past weeks, trying to understand it, try how it works. And I've been quite impressed by the technology. So, that skews. But yeah, hopefully, I hope in a couple of years, we'll be in the position where there's like a really nice balance between, okay, this piece of implementation, I'll just do it myself. And this piece of boilerplate is going to be generated by AI in the background while I do the really core implementation logic myself. So I hope that is where we'll end up as an industry in a couple months, years.
And how about the quality of the coding? Because I see a lot of experimentation, let's say, between tools. And I haven't checked, but I assume that the result is something like a Frankenstein result with pieces from different things and different tools. So I'm not sure how this will be better, let's say.
Yeah.
How they will produce a better code.
I mean, it's a very good question. The first time I heard somebody ask this question, I think it was at Devoxx in Belgium, or I was talking to Stefan from Devoxx Belgium. And his answer was, and in retrospect, I kind of agree, do you think the quality humans produce is good?
Yeah.
And that was a very good question because as an industry, basically, if I look at my own code that I wrote 2 months before, I hate it and don't agree with what I did then. So yeah, there's definitely something to say about, what is the quality that these AI tools generate? Is it good enough? Does it even matter that it's bad quality? Will you even be looking at the code if you have the unit test that's verified, I don't have the answer to that question. I don't really know where I stand there myself. When I use Cloud Code, I always review what it writes. And I'm like in this constant discussion with the tool, like, okay, you did this is wrong, do it like this. So I am like actively in the loop, improving, in my eyes, the quality of the software. But there's a big chance that if you saw this code and if you looked at it, you would hate it or you would disagree. And in that regard, I don't think anything will change from AI generated code or another human written code. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like the quality or disagrees with the implementation. And in the end, the thing that matters the most is, does it do what the requirement says it does?
Yeah. Something that I'm buzzing a lot with myself is I see myself discussing with these tools like I'm discussing with people. And then I think about, I'm talking, let's say, 1 hour with something that is not human. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, that's true.
That we are talking to something that is not human.
It is a little bit weird if you think about it, for sure. But then again, if you take a step back, I think how much time over the years people have spent in video games, talking to other players and thinking they're a person X, while behind the screen it's completely different person, right? In that regard, it's definitely different, but it's still, the abstraction layer was kind of always there or something.
Do you remember a website? I want to find someone that remembers this. Do you remember a website that you go and discuss with God? This is like in the first years we have internet and playing around. Do you
Oh,
remember it?
no, I don't think so.
It's not only me. There should be other people that were visiting this website. I have to find them. It was
Yeah.
very early and in the years we are having internet and surfing in the internet, and what they did there, it's something like we do have now and we are discussing with a machine or something. But back then we didn't have any technology like this. But the code behind it must be a masterpiece.
Or a lot of if statements.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, if you think about it, like the first Zork, like the text adventure game ever made, in the end, you could say everything you wanted as long as it fit within the constraints of the system.
Yeah.
And over the years, like those constraints have widened and widened and widened. And right now, the position where we can say everything and it will tell you something back, a lot of times it's going to be absolute horseradish, so to say. But yeah, that is, yeah. I don't think it's very weird to be typing with it as if you have a conversation with someone, per se.
Okay. And what kind of projects do you think we are going to work on in the next years? Or disciplines, or where our focus will be?
Software engineers, you mean?
Yeah.
I think the big differentiator between good and excellent software engineers upcoming years is going to be like the critical thinking kind of things, like, being able to distill huge questions into smaller pieces of work, with clear specs and stuff like that. So I do think that is going to be like the very good like thing to have, and projects that help with that are going to be very relevant, I feel. Like that allow you to do like the spec driven esque development that is quite hot right now. And furthermore, yeah, you see it right now, like the tooling, like technologies like Cloud Code. I don't think we're done in the AI space just yet. So I do think
we just started, I think.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying the AI bubble is going to be bursting soon, but it doesn't feel to me like that is going to be happening anytime soon. Could be wrong. So I do feel that it's going to be dominating for sure still.
And beyond coding, what skills do you think we will need to develop to be future proof, even if we have or we don't have AI anymore, let's say?
Well, I mean, I just added critical thinking. And it's not even about AI. Nowadays, you have to, when you go online and you look at something, take a moment and think, okay, what am I consuming right now? Is it real or is it just AI generated slop? Should I even be looking at this? Does it even matter? Those questions should be something you ask yourself every time you look at something nowadays or reading something. And I don't know, maybe it is the time we live in or something that everybody's looking up like the bubbles that validate their feelings, but I do think like the self criticism is always going to be important, but taking a step back and saying to yourself, okay, I was wrong, or this opinion is wrong, or this is my opinion now, but it can change, those things I feel are good things to be able to say to yourself. And I feel that like it's like humanity as a whole is kind of losing the ability to ask themselves that question or something. If you see how people talk about other people online and things like that. So I hope that it's going to be something that comes back and, as human race or something, without trying to sound grander than it is, we'll keep doing.
And do you have any advice for people that are starting their career now? I mean, for juniors, this year, this kind of state that we are having is very hard right now. So do you have any advice?
It is very hard, isn't it? Yeah. It's tricky because when I started, you just had to snap your fingers and everybody was offering you a job. And right now, I feel or from what I hear, completely different. I think the best thing I can say right now, and it's going to sound a little bit cliche, I guess, is don't go into software engineering for the money. You need to like it. You need to love it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to enjoy sitting behind a computer all day, looking at screens and terminal windows and code, because if you don't, it's really going to break you, I think, how the industry is right now, especially the tech industry. And I can understand that the money is a little bit, the pay is interesting and, it draws people to it. But yeah, you got to have fun in your job. Otherwise, is it a life you want to be living if you're not having fun in your day-to-day work? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, maybe I'm speaking from a privileged spot, right? So because I love it, I have fun with it, I can earn money with it. So I can say to other people, that's what you gotta do. But that is a very privileged spot to be in or something. I'm not sure that everybody has that. I mean, definitely not everybody has the ability to be able to say that, right? That I am going to work and do something I have fun with. So it's a little bit tricky. But yeah, I do think if you're junior, you really love it, you really like it, the enthusiasm you're going to be showing, like the spark in your eyes is going to catch on people. And then you get into the projects you like, and then you'll be successful in that.
I will change the question. So, what advice are you going to give to companies, and why to hire a junior right now?
Yeah.
You didn't expect that, but I did it.
Yeah, that's good. No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I've been telling it to companies for years now is either you invest in a junior right now for 5 years and you help them grow into the position where they're going to make you a lot of money or help you make money. Or you don't do that and you keep hiring senior engineers that are costing you buckets of money over and over and over again. And you're going to try this AI thing and you're going to try to cut your costs because of AI. And then try it, whatever. In 1 or 2 years, you'll find out that it doesn't work and you still need the engineers. And you're going to go to consultancies, pay them buckets of money to come and solve your issues, which you wouldn't have if you had juniors, if you kept investing in juniors. So I try to make it as tangible or as painful as possible for them to understand. Sure, it may sound like you're going to be cutting costs right now, but it's exactly the same with the whole offshoring thing that was happening a couple of years ago, right? Companies, at least in Western Europe, they were offshoring because it would be much cheaper. And then 5 years down the line, like, okay, this is much more expensive. So let's start nearshoring again or hiring local. I feel it's going to be the same. Companies say, okay, we don't need juniors anymore. Why invest if we have AI and seniors that can do like the job of 2-3 juniors with AI tools? And in 5 years, 6 years, they'll find out, okay, all these seniors are costing us a lot of money. Maybe it's a good idea to also have some people that are just starting in the industry that we can help grow and cost a little bit less.
There is another discussion that is holding me this month. And we do have this issue. So companies are not hiring juniors and they think they will solve their issues with AI. And in another direction, they have the other idea. For example, if you are younger in age, they will think that you will learn easier or you already know AI. So I will hire you because you know AI. You were born with the AI technology. But if you are senior or older, you didn't have AI all of your life. So I won't hire you because you are not using it a lot. I don't know. It's very strange that we do have the same issue, but in another objective, let's say. We do have the issue that companies are not hiring juniors. And at the same time, they are hiring juniors because they are younger in age and they might be more
attuned.
Yeah, because of AI.
I don't think I've heard that one before, but I guess to some degree, I guess it could make sense.
Let's say I see this discussion a couple of weeks. It's not very old, let's say.
Interesting. Well, I mean, if that is how juniors will get into the industry, then I'm all for it. to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, if that helps them get into the industry and get a job and get going, build the years of experience they need, sure, fine by me, I do believe that. I mean, it's a senior saying that a senior, I mean, of course, there are seniors out there that borderline refuse to use AI because plagiarism, ecological footprint, all very valid questions, right? All very valid concerns. Nothing to say about that. But I feel it's like saying 10 years ago, I refused to use Stack Overflow because I don't want to be looking at what other people do. I think it's a little bit on the same level right now. Or maybe I refuse to use an IDE because that's cheating compiles the code for me and tells me where my semicolons are missing. So I do think that there are a lot of people out there that are embracing the technology at rapid scale, the seniors. So, of course, it's not just that black and white. But, I mean, again, if it helps get juniors into the job, sure.
Okay. So we are finished with the questions. So that was it. The last thing I want from you is to challenge someone you know or you want to hear in a next episode in Life of Dev. So this is your chance to challenge someone to come to my podcast.
To challenge someone.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it can be anyone.
Yes.
Any type of developer.
Developer, designer, product, PM, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Game designer.
Game design. I mean, can you get Shigeru Miyamoto from... No. Probably somebody that knows me. Otherwise, this is not going to work, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I shouldn't shell out and say somebody from J-Driven.
Okay.
It has to be one, or can I say 3?
You can say 5. You will help me.
I'm asking too much. Okay. There are 3 people that I really respect, like in the industry. So maybe he's already been here, but you have Stefan Janssen, from the founder of Devoxx. Maybe it could be cool to see what he has to say. He has a lot of opinions on AI, so that could be fun. Another one is Tom Coles. He's a great speaker, very fun sessions as well. And he works at Timefold, so it would really be fun maybe if he did something like that. And then you have Matthias Carlson from JFocus, which is a very fun person to be around, and how he organizes the conference and his ideas and everything. So it could also be fun to hear what he has to say.
Nice. I will send them a message on LinkedIn and we'll see.
Sure.
Thank you for this conversation. I can't wait to see you at Devoxx Greece in a month. So we will see you in stage and see what you are up to.
Okay, I'll meet you there. Very exciting.
See you there.
And thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Το podcast που μόλις ακούσατε είναι μια παραγωγή της SA Athens. Αν θέλετε να μάθετε περισσότερα για εμάς, μπείτε στην ιστοσελίδα sae.edu. Μείνετε συντονισμένοι και μην ξεχάσετε να κάνετε εγγραφή στο Spotify. Και μέχρι το επόμενο επεισόδιο, never stop coding!